Hi everyone, my name is Miss Joann. I'm one of the Youth Services librarians here at Franklin Park Public Library, and today Miss Laura will be showing you how to make a catapult, and that's in the second video in this playlist. Um, Before that, I want to go into the science behind catapults and what makes them work and how they work. So in order to do that, I want to demonstrate the topic of energy using this graphic novel that does a pretty good job of explaining how energy works. Now I will only be reading the very beginning of it, and I can show you. I will be reading up to changing energy. So if you're interested in learning about fossil fuels and renewable resources and all of that fun stuff, I encourage you to check this out. It's really accessible and easy to follow. It is a graphic novel, so it's a great way to introduce science in an easy to understand way. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Today we're going to be reading Energy, and it's by Joseph Midthun and Samuel Hitz, and it's brought to us by Building Blocks of Science. And just as a reminder, we're going to only read part of the story. So we're going to be focusing on what is energy, what can energy do, where does energy come from, forms of energy, stored energy, and changing energy. What is energy? How do you move? Do you walk, run, or jump? Do you leap over mountains, fly through the sky, or barrel through the brick walls? If you do, you use me. I'm energy. Energy makes things move and do work. Cars, trains, and airplanes use energy to take us from place to place. That's really cool to think about. Basically, everything uses energy. People and animals use energy to live and grow. Energy is all around us. So the people that are walking next to you, or the trees, the butterflies, everything uses energy. That's really cool. The light and heat that you feel from sunshine, the sounds that you hear all around you, and the electricity that powers lights are all forms of energy. What can energy do? Energy can set objects in motion. When you push something, you can make it move forward. So that uses energy. When you pull back, you cause energy to stop. So it'll not move for a second. And pushing and pulling is the use of energy to move this wheelbarrow. That's a lot of work. Energy can also cause an object to change form. You need to use me if you want to bend metal. When you burn wood, the heat energy from the fire turns the wood to ash. If you apply fire to the pot of water, it will eventually boil. So that's pretty neat. If you apply this burning sensation to water, then it changes energy, and we'll talk about that in a minute, to gas, which is so cool. Heat energy causes the boiling water to change form from a liquid into a gas. Look at all that energy. Where does energy come from? Almost all of the energy on Earth comes from the sun. Let's think about that for a second. Light and heat energy from the sun are what make life on Earth possible. Plants use energy from the sun to make food. They use this energy, they use this food energy specifically to live and grow. Many animals eat plants for energy. You're an animal. Even animals that eat other animals get energy from plants. Without plants to collect this energy, animals would be in some serious trouble. All of the energy in plants comes from the sun. But what happens to this energy when plants and animals die? Where does it go? Worms and other small living things break down the plant and animal matter. This matter releases nutrients into the soil that help new plants to grow, and cycle of energy continues. What can energy do? Energy can set back. And forms of energy. Energy comes in many different forms. Heat energy can heat our homes, run machines, melt materials, and make electricity. We can make heat energy by building fires and mixing chemicals. You can feel the heat energy on a nice day. That heat is coming from the sun. Light energy also comes from the sun and objects like lamps or computer screens. So we're literally looking at light energy right now. That's really cool. Sound is a form of energy too. If you read this sentence out loud, you are using sound energy. So I just used sound energy by saying that. Motion is another form of energy. Just by turning the page, you're using kinetic energy. And we'll get back to this point later when we talk about the catapults. You know, electric energy as electricity. Electric energy powers nearly all appliances, electronics in your home. Have you ever seen electricity in nature? That's right. Lightning is a form of electric energy. Chemical energy is what makes transportation possible. Most vehicles burn fuel to release its chemical energy. Chemical energy flows through your body. It comes from the food that you eat. So when you eat a meal, you're using chemical energy. You know what energy looks like when it's in use? When I jump over these hurdles, I'm using kinetic energy to move fast. Woohoo! But energy can be stored for later use too. This is called potential energy. Take this wind-up toy. As I wind it, the spring inside the toy stores the kinetic energy of each turn. When the spring is released, its potential energy turns into kinetic energy. If the spring is released slowly, the dog walks. But if I wind it too tight, boing! That's a little torn up there. Kind of ruined his little dog toy there. Humans use potential energy all the time. This cell phone battery is powered by a battery. Many objects around us are powered by batteries. Batteries store chemical energy and release it as electric energy. Potential energy can also be found in nature. This piece of coal stores chemical energy. When we burn the coal, the chemical energy turns into heat energy. Potential energy allows us to store energy to use later. Another thing you need to know about energy is it's indestructible. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It simply moves around and changes form. Can you think of how your body changes energy? How about when you eat? Your body changes the chemical energy in food into the kinetic energy that you use whenever you move. You can see changing energy in nature too. Some deep sea jellyfish change chemical energy into light energy so that they can glow in the dark. Some insects can change chemical energy into light energy too. Just look at that firefly. He is flashing his light to attract mates. Energy can be different for every creature. But now I know what you're thinking. Now that we've finished the book, what does any of this have to do with the catapults that Miss Laura is going to show us how to make? Well, I'm going to show you. Now, Miss Laura is going to show you how to make the catapult using this little kit that you picked up from the library. Now, I want to show you how this demonstrates energy. So, here's the little ball this little cute blue ball we're going to use to fling it, okay? So, when we pull it down, what kind of energy do you think we're using? And I'll give you a second to answer that if you'd like. You can feel free to pause the video and answer before I tell you. Alright, so this demonstrates potential energy because I'm holding it down and it's building up energy that it's going to use when I release. Now when I release it, what kind of energy do you think that is? And again, I'll give you a second. You can pause if you need to. Now, the energy when I release it is called motion energy or kinetic energy. Now let's release. Now it kind of just went up in the air a little bit and then flung right back down. And you can modify our design a little bit to see if that changes your results. And if it does, you should definitely let us know what kind of crazy things you came up with to make your little puff ball go further. Sometimes, if you only put it back a certain way, then maybe that'll move it forward, or just mess around with this and see how it goes. All right, thanks.